Here we got Will Bunn looking to get some good strikes here going, throws a knee to
That was
the
an
body.
excellent knee.
He's just throwing so many hooks here. If he would have just stood in the pocket with something up, there's the left hand to put him down.
That we were talking about.
Horacio's got the body triangle in, slowly working the hand under the neck, and Will Bunn was forced to tap. No other option there.
It was a little high, might have been a neck crank at the same time, which a lot of people do while they're doing the rear naked choke.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight is brought to you by Fan 93.1 ESPN Sports Radio, and is scheduled for 3 rounds. In the Iron Circle Bantamweight division, introducing first, making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, Sean Clouatre.
All right, fans, we have Sean Clouatre making his way to the ring tonight. He is fighting in the bantamweight division at 135 pounds. His record is currently 1-2. He's fighting out of Malice MMA. That is hometown is Convoy, Ohio. And he says he's a freestyle MMA fighter. So we're really not sure what his style is, but he should definitely be looking to take it to the ground versus this next component he has. So we'll see what happens once he gets in the cage, and we'll see what happens from there.
Well, a lot of fighters now call themselves freestyle just because of the fact that they no longer just train one art. They're trying to be the most well-rounded mixed martial artist that they can be. So when you ask them, they consider themselves either a mixed martial artist or a freestyle fighter. It's very rare that you'll find somebody that just considers themselves a boxer, a wrestler, or anything like that, because they know that as the sport has evolved, that they have to learn as much as they can.
This is also very true. That's the good thing about a lot of the MMA gyms in and around Ohio. Will pretty much consist of the 3 basics, which is kickboxing, submission grappling, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A lot of places do the wrestling and the boxing, but it really doesn't cross over as much as the main 3 that I just focused on.
Oh yeah, definitely. You have to be very dominant in your one sport if you don't train MMA. If you're just a wrestler, you're going to need to be known on the national level for it to translate to MMA, unless you decide, hey, I need to learn all my skills. Which at this point, I believe the sport has evolved where everyone knows I need to be as well-rounded as possible.
Looks like referee's having him take something off of his ankles over there. Not sure what that's about.
We've had his ankles taped up, which a lot of states do not allow.
Yep, we're checking that now. Looks like he's free and clear now. They're going to do the final inspection, checking his hand wraps, checking his gloves, making sure he doesn't have any grease anywhere he shouldn't. Looks like everything's checking out all clear. The last sip of water, then entering the cage.
Blue corner, Phommachanh.
Coming to the Iron Circle now is Phommachanh. He's from actually Lee's Brothers Submissions in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A little bit of a drive to get here, but hopefully it works out for him. He weighed in at exactly 135 pounds. Right now he is 0-2, but he says he's even hungrier for his first win.
Looks like he's in a traditional gi there with the blue belt. I'm not sure what practice that belt is in, but
he's another man that considers himself a freestyle fighter. So I'm not exactly sure if that's from jiu-jitsu or some sort of karate base. Now his last 2 losses have been decisions, so he should have a pretty good gas tank because he's used to going the entire distance.
Yeah, that should hopefully come into play with him tonight, you know. He should definitely be looking to weather the storm, take it into the later rounds, since he's pretty much been there every single fight now.
Well, he did also say that he wouldn't love getting it done with easily and quickly. He says he wants to control the center and set the pace there, and he said he was looking for an early win.
That's an excellent game plan. Let's just see if it all goes to happen for him.
Well, like they say, everyone has a game plan until you get hit in the face.
Hey, that's not what you say. That's what Mike Tyson says, my friend.
I gave him permission to say that.
All right, they're doing the final inspection over there. Referee's gonna check his hand wraps, check his gloves, fingernails, mouthpiece cup. Make sure he's not greased anywhere he shouldn't be, and we'll get this fight started. The great thing about entry-level fighters is you really don't know what they're going to do until they do it. And a lot of these fighters, they're not sure what the game plan is until they get in there.
I like that little stare down as he came by. It lets you know that he's all business today.
A little bit of an intimidation factor there.
Fan 93.1 ESPN Sports Radio and is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Iron Circle Bantamweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This fighter comes from Convoy, Ohio, and represents Malice MMA, Sean Clouatre. His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter comes from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and represents Lee Brothers Submission Academy, Saki Phommachanh.
All right, you guys know the rules. You ready to go? Touch.
This referee knows that they're ready to get down to business.
Locking the cage up, and we're about to get this show started.
Now, even though Saki says he's a freestyle fighter, when you're coming from the gym of Lee's Brothers Submissions, I'm assuming that you're want to get it to the ground, work some slight ground and pound, and get a submission.
Well, let's look for some fireworks early here tonight. No touching the gloves there from Phommachanh.
We got Saki Phommachanh in the white today from the blue corner.
We got Sean Clouatre working his good jab. Just trying to get comfortable with the distance. Phommachanh calling him forward.
Saki maybe trying to bait him into a firefight, try to catch him.
Some good head work there from Phommachanh.
The bad thing about baiting somebody into a firefight, when you keep your hands down, there's a good chance you can get caught. Nice 1-2 against the cage by Saki.
Good return from there, Sean Clouatre.
A lot of body feints by Sean. Nice side kick into a spinning back fist. Very good technique. I'm genuinely surprised about that.
Sean Clouatre could get his jab going. There, get into the clinch.
Ooh, that knee was close to the head. Gotta watch that.
No knees to the head in amateur MMA in Ohio.
That was more of a capoeira style kick.
A lot of angles from Phommachanh. A lot of angles.
But he is doing what he wants to say. He wants to control the center. Make Sean work around. Make him come into him.
If Clouatre would just commit a little more to these combinations, I feel that he would be able to catch him with a nice solid hook in there.
Nice Superman to a clinch. Oh, looks like Saki's a little rocked.
Good takedown by Phommachanh.
Great double leg right in the center of the ring. He's going to control side control right now.
Sean Clouatre needs to be working that right arm into the hip. Now, giving up his back. I don't know if that's a good thing tonight.
You see Saki trying to fight his feet in, get his hooks in so he can control Sean the entire way.
Clautre's doing good by holding on to that glove, establishing his solid turtle so that way Phommachanh can't get both those hooks in.
Ooh, bad spin. You never want to turn around into your opponent.
Look out for that armbar. That armbar's right there. If he could just get his other foot around the head, secure the armbar. Nice. He's able to stack past it. Still in danger here. Still in danger. He's not really defending very well.
Now we're back into full guard by Saki on the bottom. Looks like he's working for his position. Sean's kind of just holding him down.
Well, there's the 10 seconds. See if we can end this with some fireworks.
A lot of people think just because you're on top, you're winning the round. But they do count movement and punches thrown from the bottom.
Oh yeah, submission attempts will definitely score points in a fight like this. Phommachanh was able to get a good takedown. Clouatre really couldn't defend it too well, so Here we got some good fakes here. Nice clinch to a good knee right there.
You see Saki's sucking, trying to bait him into a firefight the entire time.
Big knee to the body. Oh, looks like it just skipped off, but.
But say he's going to have to watch. If it bounces and hits the head, that could be a point.
I really would like to see Phommachanh work a more straightforward stand-up game. It looks like he's pretty comfortable on his feet. He's not scared of the ground. So I definitely think if he did a lot more stand-up and was straightforward with it, he would be more effective on his feet.
Yes. And I believe Sean just needs to establish his jab. He's not fully extending on his 1-2s, his jab cross. And when you don't fully extend, you kind of hesitate. And that gives your opponent an extra split second to throw a hook, throw some sort of power shot in there.
Now we're getting into that second round. Phommachann's been here every fight he's had.
Go the distance.
Yeah, Sean Clouatre, I don't know what his gas tank's like, but he's looking like he's pretty amped up still, so we'll see what happens.
Both guys look in great shape. I thought the first round was excellent. The first minute or so, a lot of people, takes a little time to find your range, find your groove. But hopefully they could keep it going.
Followed by a 3 and a kick. I think it'd be more effective than this baiting stance he's in.
He's trying to slip in like a boxer a lot, which sometimes you have to worry now that we can throw kicks in MMA.
I think Sean Clouatre should definitely take the center of the cage a lot more. He's got his back to the fence, which really doesn't give him anywhere to avoid any contact.
Nice leg kick.
Good cross.
Again, both guys are still trying to get comfortable in their zone.
Not really much of a range here. These guys are just standing right in front of each other.
Nice transition to side mount.
Clouatre needs to just keep defending this and try to get back to a good solid guard.
Now, if he uses that hand on the hip to push, he can shrimp back into guard.
Yeah, he's got a hold of his head, which really is not doing much except in keeping Phommachann's guard, keeping his posture down. But he's not really scoring anything from here. He definitely needs to go ahead and move. Looking to try to go out the back door.
He's going to have to bridge a lot for that to work.
Going to a north-south here by Phommachanh. He used it. Clouatre used it to stand back up.
That was a great hip explosion. Get back up, and
Phommachann's got it really deep. It's deep. I don't know.
Pretty deep. He has to arch his hips in there a lot for it to work, though.
Looks like he might not have a good grip there. He's got the arm in guillotine. It's a little hard to get the arm in.
He's going for a Peruvian necktie, which is very rarely seen nowadays.
It's pretty tight there. I don't know.
The Peruvian necktie works by holding the leg on top of his head to hold him in place.
Clouatre is able to get out of that. Now he's got some good solid ground and pound here. There we go. Just implementing his will right here.
Referee's looking. He needs to stop himself.
If Clouatre could just land a few more solid shots, I'm sure this ref would definitely stop this fight.
Saki got a shoulder block right there with his hands to stop the punches.
Clouatre should definitely be passing this guard. If he can pass this guard with Phommachanh against the fence, it definitely will alleviate some of the jiu-jitsu.
Well, now in the first round, Saki did seem comfortable on the back. He was going for a lot of strikes, a lot of positions and moves. So let's see how that goes.
Nice hammer fist there. How do you have this fight scored, James?
The first round, I was actually going for Saki. Second round with the takedown and the dominance. At the very end, I'm going to have to give it to Sean. So right now, I have it 1-1. The submission attempt into the Peruvian necktie was good. It's just that when he gave it up, he ended up in guard.
Yeah, and he took a lot of punches from the bottom there that round.
Yeah, here he is taking a lot of punches. He's doing smart to cover himself up, try to get up and block the power punches.
Yeah, but Clouatre was able to land a lot of those punches. They may not have been power punches, but they definitely landed and definitely scored him points on the fighters.
I think it's the same story. Both rounds just completely different. First round, Saki won it while he was on his back because he was moving. Second round, Sean's on top. And here we come some replays. Here's Sean on top working his ground and pound.
Saki's just looking to avoid the punches and get to a better position, but Clouatre was able to hold his hips down and just keep punching away using that ground and pound.
Now, they're going to give you points for hitting. Doesn't matter how hard you're hitting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So when you're that close, as long as you're working, that shows the ref.
And now we're headed into the third round here. It's the final round of this amateur bout.
Tell you what, we knew the Saki could go the distance. It's good to see that Sean can keep up with them. They're not going to be tapping gloves anytime soon, as Sean just tried.
Phommachanh is not having any of the glove touch.
Sean's not going to fall for it.
Stick to your game plan. If this is the game plan you had, might as well stick to it. Don't change just because the other fighter's trying to bait you into it.
Most fighters, they want to at least get within jab range. Here, both fighters stay so far away, so they're flying or exploding into each other. Actually, very unique to see both fighters try that.
But this is on the referee to make this fight happen. He should definitely be warning these guys to pick it up and advance.
I'm expecting a stalling call sometime soon. And the referee actually did just give them a warning for stalling.
Let's see if we can get some action now. We're almost a minute into this third round.
A little bit. There you go.
A lot of rope-a-dope from Saki. Maybe he's tired. Maybe this is a sign that he's tired and he's trying to rope it in. It's another warning from that referee there.
There we go. Nice.
Swinging for the fences.
Spinning back foot misses, but he's got a double underhooks by Sean.
If Clouatre can get a takedown, he might be able to steal this round.
Looking for some classic foot stomp. Saki's going to need to fight his hand in and keep that whizzer. Great turnaround. Going for the single leg.
Trying to get the guillotine.
The guillotine from the far side is not very effective. That's more of a muscle technique, and it's not going to get as tight squeeze.
Yeah, I would say that Cloutre's probably the stronger fighter in there tonight.
Now, Saki has to get back up.
Saki's on his back.
Nice axe kick by Sean.
Start kicking his legs there, Clouatre.
Yeah, might as well get your points while you can. You never know how the rounds are going.
His corner's yelling for him to advance. Cloutre's not sure what to do in this situation. He's put his back.
I don't know how the judges are going to see that.
Nice left hook there from Clouatre.
Good roundhouse kick.
A lot of stalling here in this third round.
Saki's trying to go for that overhand right.
Nice leg kick there. Got about 15 seconds left on this clock.
The bad part about being that far away is your shot's not going to be as effective.
There's an arm in guillotine, it looks like.
Again, if he wasn't so far away, if he was more within the jabbing range, he could have got his head out when he got that shot.
And now we're going to the judges. I'm really interested to see how the judges are going to score that third round. James and I each had the rounds 1-1 going into the third. But with the stalling,
don't know how they're going to feel about it third round because it was stalling on both, not just one member running away or keep circling.
Clouatre looks pretty confident he might have stole this fight. Leg kick.
Nice roundhouse. A lot of wild swinging there. They're taking their eyes off the opponent.
Yeah, not a lot of confidence in these boys' hands in this third round.
That was that overhand right I was talking about. Saki finally started to do it. I just don't know how that third round's going to go.
And we're waiting for this official decision from the commissioner here tonight.
Sean feels pretty confident that it was him.
I feel that he definitely would have been able to steal the fight for sure had he landed a nice takedown in the third.
Here's that overhand right.
It landed, but it really didn't do much.
It landed, but Saki again spent so far, he spent most of his time being away. It's hard to get a good combo in, get a good power shot when you're so far away. And now for your official decision, we throw it to Mike in the iron circle.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, the results of this fight is a technical draw. Ladies and gentlemen, a technical draw.
That's what could happen when you win the first round, your opponent wins the second round, and then the third round, there's no action.
Yeah, they were warned. They were both warned. And we will be right back in the Iron Circle for the next bout right after these messages.